Mohican Outdoor Center. That's the main lodge behind me. That has a 24-hour open hiker lounge with comfy couches, games. The bathrooms are currently out of order. They have porta potties. I guess they're getting some work done on their septic. They have a deli in there. You get sandwiches. I had 2 yesterday, one for lunch, one for dinner. I just had an incredible breakfast sandwich. I had my first pork roll. Pork roll and bacon and cheese and egg on a bagel breakfast sandwich. That was my second breakfast, and it's 8:30 in the morning. That's how hikers roll. Had real coffee with creamer. Delicious. My stay last night was very interesting. I gave a tour of the cabin I had. This center, it was great. I paid $50, which is a little bit higher than a normal bunk price. It depends. Hostels can range from $25 to more than $50, depending on amenities. And I did give actually the manager some marketing advice, and I know they're limited and their hands are tied as to what they can carry, not carry in their store. But there are car campers here as well. I said, especially for backpackers, if you had just simple hot dogs available, buns, you have the condiments, and they have drinks that you could buy. We would have purchased hot dogs to grill out last night. I had a grill. It was, I felt I underutilized the space. I had this huge kitchen. No way to go get food or anything, no car. But they do have a camp store with resupply, dehydrated meals, power bars, all kinds of bars and snacks. You could definitely do a mini resupply in there, and the prices seemed fair, a tad higher, but if you're just hiking by, it's worth it. It's not as bad as some convenience store markups I've seen. I'm headed back to the trailhead. Today's plan, I'm going to go 12.8 miles, I think, or 12.3, something. I think it's 12.8 because it's closer to 13. And to the Brink shelter is my goal for the night. I'm excited to sleep in my tent again. I've been in a bed for 1, 2, 3 out of the last 4 nights. It was needed. Pennsylvania, I'm still recovering. And I'll be excited to see some hiking friends at camp and that sort of thing. I am, however, going to take my time because there is a fire tower and I'm going to climb up and get some views. There is also, my understanding, a bald with almost 360-degree views. Could be a good place for a break. I am carrying 2 liters of water because there's plentiful water, but the first couple sources sounded a little sketchy. Just to be safe, since I had potable water here, I'm carrying a little more than I like. I can feel it. It's a little bit heavy, but nothing too bad. I forgot to tell the best part of last night. As I was getting ready to go to bed, I had to go down to sit outside the lodge to get Wi-Fi. There was no cell reception in the cabin areas. And I was going down to text my husband or say goodnight. And I hear voices in the lounge, and I'm like, oh, cool, there's other hikers here, because it seemed pretty deserted around. I went in and realized that my friends, Lucky Penny and Prickleberry, were staying there in another cabin, but their cabin was more rustic. It had electric, but no included bathroom. The bathroom was separate building. It wasn't nearly as huge as mine. It was just one room. So I said, pack your stuff, ladies. You're coming to bunk with me. And it all worked out because that 16-bed place was pretty big for little old me to be in there alone. So I appreciated the company. It's always good to catch up with friends on trail. And I think they possibly may be taking a 0-day, or at least are sleeping in, and they need some much needed sleep and rest. So that made me feel good that worked out all around. You never know. I've said goodbye to them like 3 times, and they keep hiking faster to catch up, and then I'll take a day off, and vice versa, and we keep seeing each other, which is great. The rocks do not end in Pennsylvania, and I knew this. Other hikers have been talking about it as well. I'm thinking about why northern Pennsylvania gets such a bad rap for the rocks, Rocksylvania. And it's only my second day in New Jersey. Number one, there seems to be more of a break between the rocks. I don't expect a smooth trail. I'm on the Appalachian Trail. But these rocks, see, I can walk on them. They're smooth spots. I can figure out where to put my feet. Those last 3 days of PA, it was walking on almost like hot coals because you could not get away from them. If you wedged your feet in between, you got cut on the sides, which is what I did and almost like passed out of pain at one time. These, it's like, okay, there's a spot. I'm putting my foot, you know, slow going, slower going. Absolutely. That wasn't the frustration in Pennsylvania. It was the pointy, sharp, annoying, relentless rocks. These may be challenging in spots, but then you get a little break, and then there's some smooth big ones. And anyway, it's still early days, and also we're not in New Jersey as long as Pennsylvania. I will say, in Pennsylvania's defense, it's really, for me, was the last few days that were relentless. I've had rocks the whole time. Virginia, every state has rocks. We're on mountains. I don't know. For me, I wonder if it's because Pennsylvania was the first state. It was long, 200 and something miles. It just seemed relentless the last 3 days, and they were extra sharp rocks. Like these, I'm going, no problem, just a little slow. I don't know, things to think about. Is Rocksylvania really a psychological concept? But I don't know, that mental wear and tear was real, and I've talked about it with other hikers. Many wanted to also give it up the same day that I was struggling big time, and it does help to talk about it with others and whatnot. And I'm hearing squirrels, but again, because I'm in New Jersey, I'm like, oh my God, is that a bear? Hi, buddy. Hi, little buddy. Are you getting a girlfriend? I hope someone answers. Little dude, I don't know where you're going. There's no water up here, buddy. Oh no. You okay? You're really camouflaged. You're a cute little guy. Go on. Get out of the sun, dude. Want some water. I don't know where it is, but you'll find it. Hi there, checking in. I have no idea how many miles I've done, but it's been a beautiful hour out here. Just walked a ridge line with some great views. I was going to share solo hiker nuances, especially when you're more likely to see a bear or whatever. The last thing you want to do is surprise a bear, obviously, especially a mama with babies. As I find myself as I'm coming around a corner, I may have shared this before, but it was really quiet. I'm like, oh, it's so peaceful. And I'm like, uh-oh, it's really quiet. So I start clicking my poles. Sometimes I bang them together and just yell out, hey, bear, coming through. I mean, they don't want to, you know, they're skittish generally and will run away if they know you're coming. Hopefully. Babies can be curious, though. And the last thing I want is a baby like coming up to me and having the mama around get ticked off. As this windy trail, I don't want to come around a corner and surprise anyone. So I'm out here talking to myself like a loon. It is what it is. I mean, I do want to see bears, just not face to face and really close from a safe, you know, respectable distance. I am at the Catfish Fire Tower. Some of the comments on Far Out said that there's a ranger there sometimes. I wonder if he's there. I'd love to go up to the top. Even so, I may climb up some of the stairs to see the view. Let's see what's going to happen. This is about as high up as I'm willing to go by myself. There's there's no one else around, and I got enough climbing to do. Cool views though. Glad I did climb, because with the trees filled, you can't see any of this from, I'm gonna do a 360 here. You can't see any of this from the ground. And my understanding is there's a bald later today. Then I'm gonna climb a mountain and see. So I'm gonna save my legs off these stairs. You go way up there. I may regret it, but I don't think so. This is pretty cool. And I'm going back down. I'm going 2 feet at a time on each step because my feet are larger than probably most women. I don't know, maybe some dudes. But I can't fit my whole foot on the step comfortably. I have to kind of go sideways. It is what it is, and I'm holding on to this railing for dear life. Okay, I'm gonna put the camera away. Wait, one more look. Pretty cool. I think this has been covered before. I can't remember if I talked about it, but the blazes. Obviously, you see a single blaze. Trying to find one. There's none behind me. But a single blaze just means, yep, you're on the trail, keep going. This double blaze means there's going to be a change in direction in the trail. Generally, you can tell that if the top blaze is off to the left, that means you're going to make a left turn. If it's, or curve, it's not necessarily a sharp turn. Or if it's to the right, you're going to make a right turn. It's important on a straight kind of road walk like this to really pay attention, because all of a sudden, whoop, you're going to be turning to the left. And then you can see up here, then I have a single blaze going that way, which means, yes, the trail veers off. If you get zoned out, you could just keep on going up that road and be like, uh-oh, I haven't seen a blaze in a while. And you can get off course very easily. Don't ask me how I know that, but I do. Also, I am confused by some of the double blazes are not offset at the top. Some of them are just one right on top of the other. I should know what that means. I don't know if it's like, hey, there's a change coming and you figure it out. If it means, hey, there's a change coming and we'll tell you what it is shortly. No idea, but generally whenever I see a double blaze, I at least am paying attention and then look around corners to see the next blaze to figure out which direction the trail goes. This is such a well-marked trail. Plus I have GPS via the Far Out app to tell me where I am at any time in relation to the trail. Fairly easy to navigate, but all sections of trail are not equally well blazed. There can be long stretches with no blazes. So even though it's well marked, I can't imagine doing it without a GPS or at least a paper map of some kind. I know people that set out with neither, and I can't imagine. It's not really a good idea. But here we are. I made a turn and I'm going to navigate. Yes, some more rocks, but I'm still at peace with New Jersey rocks for now. Here's a great example of a helpful blaze. That double blaze right there is veering off to the top blaze is off to the left, which is important to note because I'm at a T. There's a dirt road, gravel road here that does go both directions. Logic would tell me, oh, if it goes up and it looks like it really sucks, that must be the way I go. But no. Look at the left. It's going downhill. Thanks, blaze. I am headed downhill for a short distance, and I'm grateful for it. Hi, hikers. I have about 8.8 miles left to go to the shelter. I stink at capturing photos of birds because they're so flighty. Pun intended. Skittish, you know, it's hard. By the time I see them, I don't have time to get the video or camera going. But I just saw an indigo bunting. I'm a complete bird nerd, but they are bright blue. I've only seen them like twice before, maybe once. I was on a hike with my friend Amy, and there were several of them on this one trail near home, but I have not seen them since, and one literally just landed right in front of me. So that's pretty cool. What a treat. I just couldn't get the camera going fast enough. And another thing I said earlier today, I had 12.8 miles to go. I realized I actually had like 14 because the mileage, the starting point I had for Mohican Outdoor Center from the AWOL guide, which is a PDF and a paper version, it actually had Mohican mileage listed as further up the trail than I actually was, because it's also, besides being directly off, not directly, but it's off of the AT, the main white blazed route, there's a bypass trail called the Rattlesnake Trail. You can cut like 1 point something miles off. And I had put in the mileage of that trail, which was further up the trail, meaning I was on trail for like an hour, and I looked and I'm like, how can I have 13 miles left to go and I only had 12.8 total? And I figured it out. No big deal. I mean, it is a big deal. A mile's a lot for me. However, it's a beautiful day to hike. Taking my sweet old time out here. I'm not stressed out about it. It'll just take me a little bit longer than I thought. I would like to do the long trail someday. I will do, I think, about 100 miles of it coincides with the AT, and then there's 170-ish remaining miles. So I'd like to go back and do that someday so I can have the completed long trail. But for now, I gotta complete today's hike. First things first. Some late afternoon shenanigans here. I gotta get up that. It's alright. I got it. Had to come up that, which wasn't too bad. Alright, put the poles away and get to work. Look at this beautiful trail. Had some rocks, boulders, climbs, descents. It's been okay because it's been mixed up and interspersed with some beautiful trail. I just thought, the woods are so beautiful. Ooh, this time of day it's about almost 5 o'clock. So I'm going to roll into camp probably around 6. Get my stuff done. There is a bear box there that saves a ton of time having to hang my bag, and water's probably a little closer, and I have some water, so I'm going in with water. I'm going to try to make tonight go a little more smoothly than the other night when I got in at like 6:30 and was all stressed out. That was also after a bad day of hiking. So this has been a better day, a great day actually. I've taken my sweet time. It's been a lot of variety in terrain, and I hiked alone for most of it, which is kind of rare lately, but a nice, a nice change. Usually I start out with people and then they go ahead, or I meet people that come up behind me to pass. Not too much of that today. It's kind of peaceful out here. I enjoyed it. I'm in the last mile of my hike for the day, and this is not a bad way to end it. A view like this. Such a pretty time of day.